Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Daughters of Palatine Hill by Phyllis T. Smith, performed by Joyce Bean, Cristina Panfilio, and Amy McFadden.
Part 1. Julia. My father, Caesar Augustus, celebrated his victory over Mark Antony and Cleopatra when I was 9 years old. By defeating them in a great sea battle, he had become ruler of the Roman Empire. I watched the triumphal procession from a stand built for the occasion on the Sacred Way in Rome. My stepmother, Livia, sat beside me, wearing her red hair in a severe, old-fashioned style, a stola of plain yellow wool draping and obscuring her body. She did nothing that day to emphasize her beauty, but exuded dignity and propriety. She had told me I must be careful how I behaved, for many eyes would be on me. And indeed, the people who packed the other side of the roadway gawked at my stepmother and me. So I sat up tall in my cushioned chair and tried to look dignified. My Aunt Octavia also had a seat on the stand. Her mouth turned down at the corners, and she had an empty look in her eyes. I wondered if this was because Mark Antony had once been her husband. The air smelled of roast meat and spices. A great outdoor feast awaited us, not far from where we sat. Some people in the crowd drank from wineskins, and many joked and laughed. It was a holiday, and even slaves had been released from their work. Trumpeters led the procession. They did not play the martial tune I expected, but a cheerful air. Just behind them came hundreds of men in purple-edged senatorial togas. My tutor had told me who would be marching, and I realized this could only be the whole Senate, here to do my father honor. A row of fat oxen, led by priests, came next. When the procession ended at the temple of Jupiter Capitoline, they would be sacrificed to the god. My heart hammered because I thought I would soon see my father riding his triumphator's chariot, but I was wrong. I had forgotten that war prisoners came next. The street filled up with Egyptian soldiers, row after row of them chained together. They had on identical gray tunics, and their faces all looked the same to me, grim and dark. I understood why they were so somber. Prisoners were put to death at every triumph, strangled in the dungeons under the temple.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?